What's up, guys? Eli here. Louis says hello. He's sleeping right down there. Got a. It's been a while since I've done a collection update. So yeah, I have a collection update for you. Quite a bit of stuff that I've gotten, but this is just shit that's built up over the last month or two. Nothing that's likely to blow your mind or anything like that, but you know, I just buy shit that I find. A couple new releases, a bunch of just random old releases. We're listening to Darkness and Hope by Moonspell. Far from their best release, but it's got some okay shit on there. So anyways, let's fucking do this. I'm going to start with some horror movies I picked up lately. My favorite genre, and I've been kind of getting back into collecting horror movies. Kind of really the only DVDs that I'll collect is horror. Anything else I won't buy. But hold on, I left one out. Alright, I don't know why I made the effort to go grab it, because it's not a very good movie, but fucking whatever. I remember when this came out, I didn't give any attention to it, never saw it. I bought it for like fucking $2. They basically give DVDs away nowadays, so, you know, they have zero value. Laid to Rest. Yeah. Piece of shit horror movie, basically. It's definitely a throwback to like 80s American slasher films, but there are some serious fucking retarded moments on this movie. Some serious flaws. I probably won't ever watch it again, so yeah, that one's going in the fucking pile of shame. Next up, I never really gave, well, I don't know, I have watched them over the years, but it's been a long time since I've seen really any of these, and I've been getting back into the Friday the 13th movies, and really digging them. They're just a lot of fun. This is part 3, obviously. I haven't watched it yet. I haven't seen it since I was like pretty young. I don't really remember it too well. A lot of them are kind of mashed together in my memory. I can't really differentiate a lot of them, so I've been rewatching them. They're fun. I definitely prefer Friday the 13th to Nightmare on Elm Street or Halloween. Halloween's pretty good too, though. I got Friday the 13th Part 2. This is the first one that features Jason as the the villain. He doesn't even have the hockey mask yet. He's wearing like a burlap sack. Good movie. It's fun. They're all good. Well, they're not all good. That's not true. The earlier ones are good. Picked up this one. I had seen it years ago. I don't know, around the time it came out. I remember liking it, I think, a lot more than I liked it this time around. We have Hatchet. Old school American horror, obviously. That's very true. This is another one in the vein of, classic 80s, 70s, and 80s slasher films. It's a lot better than Laid to Rest, but it's still heavily flawed. I don't know, it's got some cool aspects to it. Robert Englund has a cameo. Tony Todd has a cameo. Kane Hodder, who played Jason in a lot of the Friday the 13th movies, plays the villain in this, so that's cool. Not a very good movie, probably 5 out of 10, I'd say. And this one, I've never been the biggest Jaws fan, but I don't know, I saw this and thought it was really cool, so I picked up this Jaws. It looks like a book, some special edition. It's pretty badass. It's got a bunch of info in there about it. It's got a Blu-ray disc, regular disc. I got it for like $4 or $5. Pretty cool. I'll definitely be watching that. Now on to the music. I'm probably just going to breeze through these. I have quite a few. And a lot of them, to be honest, I haven't even listened yet at all and have never heard. So, yeah, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time. The few that I've actually heard, I might talk about them a little bit. Lately, I had never really heard Kansas before, other than, like, the couple radio hits they had. But I've been really digging on Kansas lately. I started picking up their albums, and I really fucking dig it. This is their 4th album, Leftoverture. It's got, for people like me that weren't very familiar with Kansas, it's got Carry On Wayward Son on it. Really, really, really good fucking album. I'm glad I decided to pick up some of their shit. Good stuff, man. I want to hear more. I still only heard like 3 of their albums. I don't know how many they have even. Picked up this the other day. Electric Wizard. Which album is this? We Live. Add that to my collection of Electric Wizard. Electric Wizard. Yeah, anyways. I don't know if I've heard this album before. I like the band quite a bit, so need to listen to that soon. This one I picked up also the other day. I was well aware of what I was getting myself into. This is just more, I bought this more just because I'm a collector and a fan. This is probably in no way essential shit to own, but what even is this? Dark Throne, The Wind of 666 Black Hearts. It's just like rehearsal stuff from 91 and 92. It's got a pretty cool booklet with some pretty good liner notes. You know, Fenriz always writes good liner notes. It's got some really cool photos, but it's just rehearsal tracks. I'm not a big fan of rehearsal tracks, I'll be honest. But I bought it because I do love Dark Throne, and I like spending money on Dark Throne shit, I guess, apparently. Next, we have an album that I've listened to once. I still don't have a solid opinion on it, but I got it cheap, so... it's a band that I do like. Paradise Lost with their new album, Medusa. Nuclear Blast Records. It does have... I mean, I like it for... There's some nostalgic factors going on this album. There definitely are some... There definitely are some riffs, and there's a little bit of atmosphere that harkens back to the Gothic era. Gothic being my favorite album of theirs. So that was cool for me. But other than that, there's quite a lot of, you know, newer style Paradise Lost on here. Nick Holmes, you know, is using the death growl again, which is cool. He's got a good one. He abandoned it for many years and said that he didn't like death metal and stuff like that. So fuck him for saying shit like that. But I will say, I've never been a fan of his clean vocals, fucking ever. Especially that era where he sounded like James Hetfield. That was stupid. He does sound, his clean vocals sound better on this. If you ask me, they're the best they've ever sounded. It's almost like more 80s new wave sounding, kind of, if that makes any sense. It's tolerable. But what I don't like is that every fucking track on here, it's like a 50-50, maybe not quite 50-50, but every track on here has clean vocals and death vocals with like a clean vocal chorus. I think that's kind of stupid. It's just not what I want from Paradise Lost, but I don't know. If I get over myself and listen to it a couple more times, I think I'll like it a little more. I don't hate it. Like I said, it's got some definite redeeming qualities, but I don't know, man. It's a nice fusion of new and old, but at this point, I'm not sure if I'm completely convinced. Shit. Where are we at here? I ordered some shit from Forever Plagued the other day. I got a really sweet Nightbringer shirt from them, and fuck, man, I was going to show it in this video, and I forgot to grab it. It's in the laundry room. I'm not going to go get it. I'll probably show it in the next video. Sick Nightbringer shirt, though. I know a lot of you guys dig Nightbringer, as I do also. Go check it out, man. It was like $15. Really, really cool shirt. Wish I could show it, but I'm not going to get up. So I mainly wanted that shirt from them because I saw it. I was like, dude, I gotta have that. But I'm not just gonna order a shirt. Of course, I gotta order some other shit. So I got like 3 CDs. Reverence. The album is entitled Chamber of Divine Elaboration, Avant-Garde Records. I heard this album years ago when it came out back in, I don't know, mid-2000s or something like that. Really good French black metal, definitely in the vein of Ludos Nord and Deathspell Omega, shit like that. Just weird. What would you even call it? Weird experimental black metal. If you like that French stuff, it's worth looking into. This I have not heard yet. I have heard it's a split, 3-way split. I have heard 2 of the 3 bands on here. Universal Absence, it's called, with Elysian Blaze. Funeral Doom metal from Australia, really fucking good, really good band. If you like Funeral Doom, and which I'm not the biggest fan of, but it's Funeral Doom with maybe some black metal thrown in there, and it's really good, bleak and sinister. It's also got the Lyrics, black metal band from I think the UK, definite depressive black metal, but done really well. I like depressive black metal when it's done right. And then there's a band called, I don't even know, D.O.R. D.O.R. as you see right there. I think black metal, I think from Portugal or Brazil. They don't even have a full length or anything like that. They don't have a lot of material. So I'm kind of looking forward to hearing what they sound like. Anyway, three-way split. Grabbed that mostly for Elysian Blaze, really killer band. And then I also got this. I had heard of this band briefly, never have actually heard their music. Gravedoll, I don't know how, that probably sounds weird the way I pronounced it. Here you go. Gravedoll, I don't know. Sadist, yeah, black metal from Norway. And I've read and heard that it sounds like what it is, black metal from Norway. I'm looking forward to hearing it. I haven't heard it yet. I have nothing to say about it. Picked up also the other day the new Cannibal Corpse album. Have not heard a single note from it. It's called Red Before Black. It's more killer Vince Locke artwork. I really like what he does. Yeah, haven't heard it yet. Cannibal Corpse is a band that many of us, got many of us into death metal. They were one of the bands that got me into death metal. I still like them. I don't listen to them that often, but when they put out a new release, I go and buy it. And usually you get what you get with Cannibal Corpse, and they're good at what they do, and I've talked about them before, and I don't really have much to add to that at this time, but hoping it's a solid album. Also got this one. Here's a band that had a hell of a buzz lately. Holy shit. So I guess I fell into that trap. But they're one of those bands that live up to the hype, and that is Spectral Gorge, right? Spectral Voice. I'm fucking stupid. Spectral Voice. The album is Eroded Corridors of Unbeing via Dark Descent Records. I heard some of their earlier demo stuff and thought it was really good. Doom death, kind of in the vein of Disembowelment and what have you. Looking forward to hearing that album because they're definitely a promising band. I like their old shit that I heard, what very little I heard. But anyways, picked that up. Looking forward to hearing it. Here's another band that I don't know, for years. I've known about them for at least 10 years, maybe 15, maybe the entire time they've been a band. I don't know. Never had any interest in hearing them. I for absolutely no reason. So I bought this on a whim, and it is really fucking good. It's the debut album from Graveyard, from Sweden. It's just entitled Graveyard. Digipack, which, none of us are fans of, but it's got cool artwork. Very cool artwork, reminiscent of cathedral type artwork. What can I say about Graveyard? If you don't know about them, they are I don't know, man, Doom 70s throwback rock. Really fucking good. It's got a very raw, kind of almost live production. Really dig the production on there. It's raw and energetic. Almost has a punk type energy. It's not a punk album. I don't even think they have elements of punk in their music, but the energy that they captured on the record, really, it almost has a punk feel to it. Raw and fucking in your face. Really good album. Dig it. I've listened to it several times already, and I'll probably check out some of their other stuff. Also, I got the new album by Exhumed, Death Revenge. Really dig that cover art. Really, really cool. I love Exhumed. I really like their early stuff. I've heard some stuff off this, and it sounds like more of the same, from the last album, basically, and which kind of disappoints me. Their earlier days, they were, basically like a early Carcass worship band. The last couple of albums, it's been instead of sounding like early Carcass, they sound more like Heartwork era Carcass. A lot of melodic death metal tossed in there, and I'm really not a fan of that. That's just not. I like Exhumed when they're more dirty and vicious and more gore grind type stuff. But I still like them. They're Matt Harvey's a really cool dude, and I still buy their releases when they come out. This is I had to get this, of course, when I saw it. Another Enya cassette, Shepherd Moons. It's a really good album. I fucking put it in my tape player and it ate it. It fucking ruined the cassette, so I needed to get a new cassette player. Fucking ruined it. I got it for $1, but still I'm bummed because I wanted to listen to it more. Shepherd Moons, Enya. It's a good album. If you like Enya, it's one of her better works. Next up is a band I've never talked about on this channel. It's a band I liked a lot as a kid. Liked their early stuff, not so much the later stuff. And these are two two early albums from them that I honestly had never heard before. It's U2. We got the what is it called? The Unforgettable Fire. I listened to it once, and maybe U2 for me is just a nostalgic band. So I didn't dig it too much. I really like War. The War album is fantastic. A couple tracks off the Joshua Tree were real good, and that's, I guess, really all I like from them. I'll give it some more spins, and it's typically considered one of their better albums, but it didn't do anything for me on the first listen. It might just be because I don't like U2 anymore. Liked them as a kid, and the nostalgia's not really there anymore. This is, I think, their first album. I've never heard a single note off this. Boy. Yeah, I haven't heard a single note. 1980. It's either their first or second album, something like that. Haven't heard it. Can't really say anything about it. We got the new Enslaved record with lame cover art like they usually have on their newer albums. But having said that, I'm not going to criticize them anymore because this album is really fucking good. I like the direction they've gone. They're proggy. They're more. There's really no black metal elements on there. There's hardly any metal elements at all. Aside from like the Brutal still has his black metal screams, I guess you can call it. Other than that, I mean, they haven't really sounded like a black metal band for however many years. And in fact, they've never considered themselves a black metal band at all. But Varg says that about Burzum too, and I don't know. I definitely consider all that shit black metal. But anyways, I've listened to it like twice. It's very progressive, like their last few albums. It's very good. That's when it comes to like progressive type music, I'm not going to be the type of dude that can put it into words. Progressive music it's complex. There's a lot to dive into usually, and yeah, I like the album. There you go. You guys might remember I bought the re-release of this album not too long ago, and I found this at one of my local shops, and it's an original pressing, which is cool, because I've never had this. Ultra Mega OK from Soundgarden. It's their debut album from SST, and yeah, happy to have that. Not my favorite Soundgarden album, but it's a killer album, and a lot of people like it. Most Soundgarden fans would say it's their best, but I'm not one of them. It's good though. I'm back on my Kansas kick. I've already broken the fucking case because I don't think it came that way. Here's their debut album, self-titled Kansas. This album is phenomenal. I really dig it. I've only listened to it once or twice, but I'm already hooked. I mean, it's just funny. Look at the band photo on the back. I mean, these guys they look like just true rednecks, but I mean, phenomenal musicians. If you just looked at that, saw a band photo of these guys, you would never think they were, good musicians and good songwriters writing, some fairly complex shit. Yeah, it looks gonna be deceiving, I guess. This one dude looks like a farmer. In fact, he probably is. Anyways, yeah, Kansas, man, debut album, fantastic. Got the new album from Belphegor, Totem Ritual. Belphegor is another one of those bands a lot of us, got into years ago, and I still buy their new releases, although I find them to be, fairly boring. Artwork, I guess. I'm not a fan of this artwork. I think it's cool, but I don't know. I like just typical drawing and paintings for artwork. This is more digital shit. But anyway, Totem Ritual. I listened to it once. I think it starts off really good. I listened to it once, and I was fucking doing laundry or something, so I can't say I really gave it attention, so I can't really say too much about the album. But the first song, Baphomet, that song kicks off, and instantly I thought it was pretty fucking cool. Kind of a killer death metal song, heavy and dark. But yeah, that's for the rest of the album. I really can't talk about it. So I debated on buying this because, like I said, I've liked Belphegor. I like the early stuff. But I still buy a lot of their new releases, and most of them are just fairly fucking boring. Their last few albums have done nothing for me at all, so I guess I took a risk on that one. And finally, this is an album that I've owned several times over the years. I've always liked it. This is the album that got me into the band. Sepultura, Chaos AD. I have the disc lying around that I've had since forever, and I just bought this because I found it randomly and I didn't have the case. Many of you will know this is a Sepultura album that kind of marked a change for the band. It wasn't a complete departure from, say, Arise or Beneath the Remains, but this is when they started to add a little bit more groove into their music, some more tribal elements. But this is not a nu metal album. I mean, even Roots. I don't like Roots, but I mean, I wouldn't consider that a full-on nu metal album. But I mean, kind of. I don't know. Anyway, more groove, more tribal elements, but still, there's still some death metal fury on this. There's still some great thrashing moments, and I think it's a solid album. A lot of people are like, yeah, that's where I draw the line with Sepultura. I can't listen to Chaos AD, but I think Chaos AD, for what it is, it's a good album. It's better than a lot of shit that comes out nowadays, and it might just be, I do have a lot of nostalgia for it, but I don't think it deserves a lot of the hate that it's got, although to an extent I can understand. It's not nearly as good as Arise or Beneath the Remains, but in its own way, it's still pretty good. I mean, they changed the logo, obviously, although I think they might have changed the logo before this album. God damn it, I should know that. I'm a big Sepultura fan. But anyways, I like it. It's for me, it's a good album. Anyways, that's it. I got some more videos I want to record coming up soon, like my part 2 of my black metal classics. I might do that right now after I wrap this shit up, but this is already going on too long. Yeah, I haven't really recorded a video for a while. I haven't been in the mood, but yeah, thanks for watching as usual, and thanks for stopping by. We'll talk soon. Cheers.